Hi everyone, it's Quickie Baby and welcome back to World of Tanks. One is going to be Vents, Gun Rammer with a firepower slant and a turbo. Really good opportunities to spot, and then I drop the vertical stabilizers all together to use coated optics. Now let me clarify, if you're a beginner, this probably isn't the video for you. I'd recommend going and checking out my full tank review of the UDES 50.
That VZ55 was tracked in place and just absolutely ravaged by the VZ.
Well, the way that averages work inside World of Tanks is that I average about 62% wins inside the game, give or take. So I guess this is where I can just kind of crest up here. Use Vents, Gun Rammer, Turbo, just go and get in the faces of my opponents. It's really important to hold both the south and the north on Red Char Assault, and because we've lost the north so convincingly, that now means that the middle is going to have a huge amount of pressure, and just pray that the Type 59 sucks, that he can't manage to pen me with all the gold that he's spamming. I have two builds on this vehicle, as you can see. I have a turbo, vents, and a gun rammer, which is an all-in aggressive build. As you can see, I like to play this thing a little bit different. When I'm playing on a map like Mines, I use a Spowliner on this vehicle. My preferred build on this vehicle will still be to take a durability device with vents and a gun rammer. Has a good top speed limit, but not the best power to weight ratio. I might just YOLO beach, have some.
Hello there, my dear tank-headed friends. So, I just watched Kwaku Babu using equipment in the most special way possible, and honestly, it's a kill part, hilarious and terrifying. Like, the dude's one of the biggest World of Tanks YouTubers, which means a solid chunk of his brainwashed followers are now slapping absolute meme gear on their tanks. In this video, I will try to slow down the community's collective IQ drop and break down special equipment, specifically Bounty, Bond and Experimental. The excremental models will get their own segment, but pink and violet gear are basically the same thing, just with tiny stat tweaks based on rarity. So smash that like button if you want every arty main to catch a hash shell through the window in real life, and let's go. Before we dive into specifics, here's a pro tip. Stop blowing bones and violet gear like it's trash. Pink gear is only 1% worse, and you can farm it for free, either through events, battle passes, one per season, or as rewards. Yeah, I got it, a full violet loadout book looks good on your favorite tank, and upgrading pink gear costs 3 million credits and it's quite expensive, but if you're low on bones, save them from something actually worth it, like a premium tank or something else. Now let's talk about gun rammers. This is the one piece of equipment you should always take unless you're playing an autoloader. The difference between pink and violet rammers is so tiny, it's laudable. On something like an E100, you're looking at 0.2 seconds fastest reload, and on an Object 140 it's a pathetic 0.06 second, unless you're obsessing over max DPM, which rarely matters in the real battles. The pink rammer is more than enough. Next up, vertical stabilizers. They is almost as important as rammers, especially for autoloaders, since they reduce bloom after each shot. But here's the thing, violet stubs are a total waste of bones. The 2.5% difference is no effect in combats. Just slap on improved aiming for 30% total boost, which is basically like running 1.5 steps at once. If your tank already has good stabilization, like in Leopard 1, you can even skip the pink step and stick the standard one. Now, turbocharges. This is where things get interesting. A pink turbo is the most important for slow tanks, but even mobile ones benefit from the extra speed. It's easily one of the most versatile pieces of equipment in the game. Heavies and mediums use it in the mobility slots, while assault tank destroyers often run its in survivability slots since they're already taking a rammer in the firepower. The bottom line, always get a pink turbo, violet is overkill. Improved Hardeling is a bit of a mixed bag. The pink version is a borderline useless. 10 extra hit points for 3 million credits? No thanks. At most, grab 1 or 2 for tanks without field modification, and the violet version through is actually decent if you're staking hit points on your favorite tank. Still, it's not a priority. Rotation mechanism are another niche pick. They're only really useful on a handful of tanks like the Forge B for extra stabilization or low tier vehicles that can't mount stabilizers. The 70.5% bonus is weak compared to what you get from a pink stabilize with instructions, so don't waste bones on the Violet version in the Onslaught shop. Then there is improving aiming, which is a pure copium. Let's be real, accuracy in the world of tanks is a myth. Even with maxed out buffs, events, field modes, food, you shall still randomly dive into the dirt. At close range you are aiming for weak spots anyway, and at long range RNG will screw you regardless of whether your dispersion is 0.3 or 0.4. The only time this might be worth it's on meme sniper builds, like max actually... how to speak this? Accuracy Leopard 1, and even then it's questionable. Low noise exhaust is self-explanatory, like tank users mains already swear by it, and some medium tanks run it on the bush heavy maps like Malinovka or Prokhorovka. Not much else to say here. Modified config through, absolute trash. Experimental Hardeling crew reconfiguration does everything better, so there is zero reason to waste bones or credits in the pink and violet versions. The only benefit is a faster repairs, which is a joke, then you could just run a proper survivability setup instead. Speaking of experimental gear, let's break it down. The mobility systems it's an experimental turbocharger is an expensive flex. It adds 7% stabilization when moving or touring at tier 3, but it's only worth it on autoloaders like the T57 Heavy or Samurai SM with bone steps and improved aiming. For most players, the cost isn't justified. The fire control system experimental GLD plus rotation is a missed opportunity. It could be a very useful thing on tank destroyers since they can't use vertical stabilizers, but Wargaming inexplicably banned it for them. As a result, it's only better on a few tanks, and the Tier 3 upgrade is a strange scam. 2000 components for a measly 2% bonus? Hard pass. But the crew reconfiguration model. This is the best equipment in the game. It combines the best parts of Hardeling and modified config, giving you extra hit points and plus 100% model durability and minus 50% crit penalties. It makes pink or violet Hardeling and config completely obsolete. If you're going to invent in any experimental gear, this is the one. I've already got 4 tier 3 versions and I am not stopping another son. Now go forth, stop being a kwakubabu and equip your tanks like a sane person. Now let's quickly go over the most useful equipment and possible combinations with it. For most tanks the best option is to install an improved Hardeling and a turbo, and in the third free slot you should either install a gun rammer with if it's a common tank, or a stabilize if it's an autoloader. Additionally, a good build is a combination of Hardeling, stabilize and rammers for tanks with poor stabilization but decent speed. Mainly it works for Soviet and Chinese tanks. Kwakubabu's favorite equipment such as a ventilation is unsteady last, not to mention useless shit like a subwoofer or an improved scorp. So, to sum it all up, Bond, violet gear is a trap, pink equipment is a 99% as good and way easily to get it for free. Focus on pink rammers and turbos, skip the violet stabilizers and rotation mechanisms, and don't fall for the accuracy meme. As for experimental gear, crew reconfiguration is a must-have, while the mobility and fire control systems are luxury picks at best. Subscribe to the channel, push the like button, bye bye.